Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison, and today we're doing episode 22 of how to make PDFs accessible. In this episode, we're going to cover Evergreen College. Now, the first thing I like to do is first visit the website, and in this instance, we're going to go to evc.edu. Then I'm going to select the search button and we're going to try to find a dreaded PDF. Let's type in .pdf and see what we find. All right, we have a whole bunch of different options here. Let's select Scholarship Workshop and let's see if we can find the PDF. And we have one here. It's called Virtual Scholarship Workshops.pdf. Let's go ahead and download this file. It's first opening it in a preview window. All right, this one's going to be pretty easy to do. Let's go ahead and download this file, download PDF, and we want to open it natively in Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. So let's do that now. Perfect. So step one of the accessibility guide method is we're going to check the design elements of this document. And I have a feeling that this color contrast is going to fail. I'm going to launch my CCA tool to test for the color contrast. And I want to test this blue. And look at that, it fails all over the place. This white against the blue background, unfortunately, fails our color contrast requirements. So we need to change it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to select the edit button and let's try to grab this text, virtual scholarships, and we're going to change it to black. And then we need to take workshops and we'll change that to black. Perfect. We can close that window out. Now let's launch the CCA tool one more time and let's test that green font we have. Got this green, and that fails our color contrast as well. So let's go ahead and make that black too. We're going to go back to edit. Let's select all of that text in that field. We're going to change it from that dark green over to black. And then we're going to expand that box just a smidgen, and then let's select save. Now, also there's a Zoom meeting link here. Now, because this is a flyer, it might be okay to leave the full URL, but typically you don't want to have your URL just listed like that. You would want to put it under some descriptive link text instead. So I'm going to leave it because I think this is supposed to be printed, but we're making it accessible regardless. So the next step in the accessibility guide method is to open up the tags panel. So I'm going to do that by clicking the tags button. And what do we got over here? We have a whole bunch of figure tags in here. Did this document come from Canva? I'm just going to guess yes, because these tags are horrible. And let's select the menu button and select document properties. And sure enough, I guessed it right. This document did in fact come from Canva, which is why it's so terrible. So technically the document has tags in it, but they suck. So we're going to auto tag it. Let's go to the all tools panel. We're going to select prepare for accessibility. And we want to automatically tag this PDF. Now, I'm doing this because I feel very comfortable with the tools that I use in my own system, but I would not recommend a newbie to start with the auto tag process. The steps that I'm taking are very specific so that I don't have to go back and undo work that these tools provide. So by changing the colors first, I save myself a whole bunch of time. And by running the auto tagger, I now have a better shell than what Canva gives us. And we can kind of start from the top. So let's expand some of this content out. We have some path tags that are entered as figures. I'm going to hold my control key and select the container elements of those tags. Let's right click them and select change tag to artifact and then select OK. Next, we are going to change this figure tag to, let's see, it's just going to be a P tag. And then we have our next P tag, Virtual Scholarship Workshops. This is going to be our H1. We then have some paragraph text, that's fine. Empty figure tag we're going to delete. We have a reference and a link that came through appropriately, another P tag, and finally another hyperlink. So this document is actually in pretty good shape. So step 3 of the accessibility guide method is to walk the tags panel, which we did. I'd like to introduce you to today's sponsor, Venngage. Venngage is an accessible graphic design platform to help users create accessible content for things like infographics, forms, flyers, course content, flowcharts, and pretty much everything in between. Once exported from the platform, these documents will require very little remediation, if any at all. And the best way to think about Venngage is it's like an excessive alternative to Canva. I use it myself for my own document creation needs, and I would strongly recommend checking it out. There's a link in the description for a free trial of Venngage. With that said, let's get back to the video. Step 4 is to make sure that they are correct. So we validated this. We just have a single H1. Our hyperlinks are correct. And then I forgot the step number. We're gonna put them in the right order. That's the next step. And then finally, we're gonna check the document metadata. So to check that metadata, we're gonna go over to the menu button, select document properties, and this is where we want to update our information. Now the title is currently set to virtual scholarship workshops. That's perfect. The author will be Evergreen College. The subject will be virtual workshops, and the keywords will be not accessible. And then we'll select OK. Next, let's save the document. And now we're gonna run it through the built-in accessibility checker for Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. Let's select the Prepare for Accessibility button in the Tools panel, and then we're gonna check for accessibility and then select Start Checking. This document is passing so far. Let's open up the Pack tool, and I need to find the actual file. Here it is. Let's go ahead and test it in the Pack tool for WCAG and PDF UA compliance. And I'm not sure if my computer is just slow or Pack tool is bugged out. All right, here we go. It's running. Sometimes files from Canva will cause problems with the scanner. There's some issues with PDF UA. Our fonts aren't embedded. We're missing alternate descriptions, and we're missing the metadata. So let's go ahead and fix that now. We're gonna go back into the tools menu and select print production, select pre-flight, and then we're gonna come over here and select the single wrench item, and we're gonna fix the fonts first. So we want to embed missing fonts, and let's select fix. It's gonna prompt us to save our file again, which we will now. All right, what was the other one? Oh, I know, pre-flights. We need to now fix the link annotation. Create content entry for link annotation. Let's select fix. Save the file, select yes, and then we're next going to apply the PDF UA identifier. To do that, we're going to select the pre-flight menu again, and then we're going to search for UA, and we're going to do set PDF UA1 entry, and select fix, and select save. Yes, perfect. Let's go ahead and now test that file one more time in the Pack tool. Let's see what we come up with now. I think I fixed everything. All right, it's scanning. It's taking a little bit of time, and we've got a passing PDF UA and WCAG report. Fantastic. All right, since this file came out of Canva, I feel like I can't give like an accurate accessibility guys score for this document, but if I had to pick, I would say it has an accessibility score of like a 3 out of 10. The color contrast was failing on the majority of the document. Hyperlinks weren't used correctly. But really, I can't blame the college. It's more like I have to blame Canva. So there's a lot more work that could have been done in order to make that document accessible, which is why the low score. If you want to find out how I can help you get accessible, I am now offering free bookings. Check out the link below this video and set up an appointment with me to chat right away. And as always, I can be your champion for inclusion. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.